Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'd hope you would consider subscribing. And if you're not, welcome back. So we've seen the release of the Harley Davidson CVO this week, and I'm excited by what I've seen. I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little confused, and there's just a lot going on here. So I've been very critical of Harley Davidson not moving into or not marketing to my demographic, right? I'm 51 years old. I am the Gen X generation. From a touring standpoint, I'm very, very fed up that Harley continues to market to the boomer generation. If you've ever seen any of my videos or my lives, I ultimately refer to it as the boomer glide. To me, the underlying tone of that announcement was that the boomer glide is dead and the Gen X glide has arrived. And hear me out on that. Don't flame me. Hear me out on this. Harley's demographic for the standard limited CVO is fading. They're quite frankly dying off. And I'm not making fun of that generation, but they are. Right, the boomer generation is no longer the main focus of Harley Davidson, as far as I'm concerned. Watching this video, Gen X has kind of been left behind. Right, Gen Xers are turning into the demographic of the boomers. Right, I'm 51 years old. I'm an empty nester. I have disposable income, and I love technology. So if you look at the standard Harley Davidson that you have out, it really doesn't do a lot for people looking for that. There's other platforms, BMW, Honda, that have this technology. Indian, although if you follow this channel, you know I'm not an Indian fan. Rip Polaris, rip Victory. I really do miss Victory. So one of the things that I saw that I really liked is that they made these bikes look unique. It isn't just throwing paint on a bike and saying, well, this is a new model. You have the bigger motor, which I'm not a tech guy as far as motors. I'm not that guy. A 121, with variable time, it's cool. I wouldn't know the difference till I rode one. Like I said, I'm not a gearhead. I'm not that person that's going to get lost in those specs. I do think it's cool that with the redesign that they've made the bike so different. The bike looks dramatically different than Rushmore from before Rushmore. There was a difference, but it wasn't quite the difference. The Road Glide still obtained that look. This is completely different, and I don't know how I feel about that. To me, the front of the Road Glide, and again, I'm only going to speak to the Road Glide because that's what I ride, and I feel like that's my lane. The headlight look to me at first glance looks a lot like an Indian, and I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks at all. I feel that it's a look that looks too generic. It kind of looks like, it looks like an Indian with that single headlight. It's not a bad thing, but I think it takes away from the uniqueness of that lineup. I personally, and again, this is just my opinion, I like those two headlights. I love the fact that before Rushmore and even after Rushmore for a while, before the Road Glide became the it bike to own, I loved that it was ugly. I liked it I loved that Harley riders hated that bike. For as a whole, most Harley riders hated that bike. It was the ugly duckling, and now it seems like in 2023 that bike has become the forward-focusing bike for Harley Davidson. So the bike that I loved before Rushmore, people now accuse me of owning the it bike, but that's okay. So I think the technology's there, and I think that Harley Davidson is sending a message that the Gen X bike has arrived. I really love the console. I love that the navigation system switches around in different modes. I'm very excited about the ride modes. I have rain mode on my 2020. I've used it. It does work well, but it would be nice to have more options, and they've added that. The other thing that I really like too is the new bar design. We've all know the running joke, right? What's the worst job to have in Harley Davidson? It's the guy that makes the windshields, the guy that makes the seat, the guy that makes the bars, and quite frankly, probably the guy that makes the suspension. Because all four of those, are being tossed off the bike the second somebody buys it, right? Nobody runs a stock windshield as a rule. Nobody runs stock bars. And let's not forget stock exhaust. one thing I like too, I keep saying the one thing I like. The thing that I liked also is that the smoked, or not smoked, what were they calling it? The black chrome of the Road Glide exhaust. I've done some digging, and I've talked to some people about this before this bike, and I have the black Chromeworks pipes on my bike. It is my understanding that Lincoln Industries, which owns Chromeworks, is the company that makes these pipes for the Harley Davidson CVOs. And I can say, if you've not seen black chrome in person, it is absolutely amazing. It has this really cool, it looks like, and I made the joke in the beginning, it looks like black chrome and chrome had a love child, and this is what they produced. Absolutely amazing look of the bike. I love the paint on the bike. I would love to see the Whiskey Neat without the crazy paint jobs comes to the standard lineup. It's not gonna, I'm sure, because it's a CVO color, but it's nice to dream. I think that we've really, to me, this is the line in the sand. This is what they had hinted about for a long time in the announcements about how big the 120th anniversary was going to be, and what you were going to come to see from Harley Davidson. And I think that in that concept that they've absolutely outkicked the coverage on this. Like I said, aesthetically, I don't know that I'm in love with the look. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And it's like anything, right? It can grow on you. Would that stop me from buying a Road Glide if my bike were to blow up tomorrow? Absolutely not. But I don't know that I'm in love with it the way that I thought I would be. I've seen it in pictures. I've seen it in their short teaser video, and I liked it. But seeing it more and more in daylight, I don't know how I feel about it. And I'm curious to see what you guys think. I thought the Batwing with the lights up the side looks pretty cool. They certainly redesigned the Batwing that it looks more towards the styling I like. I really do like that the bike, both the bikes, but again, I'm trying to speak from as a Road Glide owner. I love that they've stepped it up. It's got a more contemporary look. I like that the gas tank isn't round. It has the flat spots in it. I like the new air cleaner. I love the new bags. The new bags are, have that wider front that come back. I also like that they have the sport bagger or the stunt rider chop offs on the back of the bags. I really like the notching in the side of the bag. So again, everything sort of has this just different look to it. I really think that the styling of this bike is really great. Like I said, if you had to say to me, Bri, what's the one thing that you don't like on this bike? I have to say it's the front of the bike. I'm not sold yet. I know they say the wraparound lighting is better. We'll see. Traditionally, Harley doesn't make good lighting on their bikes, but I'm curious to see. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they've changed. I do love the rear taillights with having the red and the amber. I love that contrast. I've always think from a safety standpoint, that contrast of changing colors is awesome. Some of my custom dynamics lights that I run on my bike are white to amber, and I think that contrast makes a huge difference for safety. Thought the horn relocation was a little odd. I feel like the horn being lower on the bike is kind of weird to me. I kind of feel like it would be louder, that it's higher. Maybe it's louder because it's closer to the ground. I don't know. I just thought that was it seemed to me a little weird. I do like the hand controls on the bike. And like I said, from a technology standpoint, I think this bike is out of the park. I love the fact that they finally, thank God, they've redesigned the places to put your phone to be bigger and fit phones that are, dare I say it, of the Gen X generation. But they really have come forward, and I really was excited, and I wanted to end this video. I was really excited to see John from Cycle Fanatics and Robert Simmons in this video. And the reason for that is they're showing that this is the demographic. They're taking they're taking relatable brands and putting them in their marketing. So this is a brand that I can look at and say, oh, I've seen his channel. I like his channel. Well, now he has this bike, right? So it's adding really good promotion to the brand by putting riders that people follow on YouTube into their marketing. And I think that that's an absolutely brilliant idea. I also thought it was really cool to see Robert Simmons featured in that as an African-American male. That is not a market Harley Davidson has traditionally promoted. They've promoted it a little bit in their launch videos, but it's never been prominent the way it was in this. And then you have John from Cycle Fanatics, who's an Air Force veteran. I also forgot to mention Robert's NYPD. So they're really sort of putting this Americana, manly man, forward-facing view on this. And I thought that was really cool. I know Harley has looked into and has done some work with influencers, but I really think from targeting that demographic, I think it's awesome, because if you look at YouTube, you know, every channel has their targeted demographic. If that's what they were trying to do, and I think they hit it out of the park in going for, you know, that Gen X, early 50 generation that is looking to finally get the bike that they always wanted after their kids have grown, their colleges is paid for, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they put it out of the park in the sense of sending a message, right? This is the new Harley Davidson. There's no arguing it. It's exciting to see. I'm really excited to see, like I said, how the everyday Harley Davidson rider will be affected by this with the limited, which is the Series I ride. And, you know, would I be able to trade my bike in for this? Or should I say, would I be willing to trade my bike in for this once it hits the showroom floors as a limited and not a CVO? So guys, that's all I had. I really enjoy doing these videos for you guys, and I'd be curious to see what you think. Again, I'm not a motorhead. I'm just giving you my perspective from a tech standpoint and from their targeted demographic to what I see as a Road Glide user. That's really all I had. I appreciate your comments, and go ahead and leave like I said, leave it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and leave a comment. That's all I had for today, guys. Hope you're having a great week. Love you guys to death. And please remember, you're not alone. Thank you so much for watching.